This guy.
Oh, what we used to do again? Hey. What's good, y'all? It's
Your girl Cymphany.
It's your boy Jordan. And we
And
back with another
movie.
or video or whatever it was we used to say. I'm just kidding. Alright, how y'all doing? It's been a while. It's been a while since you've seen her face too. You usually just see mine. So how you been? So how you been?
Fine.
Nothing.
Oh. Hi guys. So, yesterday was my birthday and the day before was Jordan's birthday. Living in Texas has definitely been different compared to being in Florida. And ironically enough, I migrated from New York kind of later in age than Jordan did. I was like 11, but I migrated from New York to Florida. So literally for majority of my life, I was in Florida. And so then it was literally February, we packed up and we left because of my job that I no longer have anymore. I no longer have that job. Literally as of November, I don't have that job anymore. So it's been feeling like really different because we are not near any family. We're not near any family. We are not near them. Like, we're literally nowhere near them. Like, all of our family is either in Florida or they're in New York. Like, that's it. So for us, it has been a change. But ironically enough, I feel like we are actually doing way better than what we thought we would have done, especially if we were back in Florida. Bills were still able to get paid. All those who's able to still get paid. Food on the table. You know, our kids still having what they need. Literally did a whole bunch of Black Friday shopping for the kids. So, so that part I'm definitely grateful for. Ironically enough, I feel like the old me would have like freaked out when I got let go from my jobs. Because that's what I used to do. Like, especially even though I knew that even though I reached a point where it was like, it was time for me to go from that job, I would still freak out. Like, when it happened. But I didn't actually freak out this time. It was just like, oh, well, as long as rent get paid. Like, that's really all I said. I was like, well, rent gonna get paid, so it is what it is. Because something for us that we have been doing a lot more, especially being not like where we were before, being in a new state, especially being in a new city, something that has definitely come for us is really just developing our relationship with God. Like, that has definitely been something that we have been able to do a lot more now than we have done back in Florida. And with that has brought a lot of comfort. So even just going through this, we still had a certain comfort. We still had a certain comfort that we knew, like, no matter what happens, everything is going to be okay. But even if that means we have to pack up again, even if that means we have to move back to Florida, then it's like, yeah, it's going to be aggravating. Yeah. But at the end, we know that that's just what we have to do. But in the end, right now, we are where we are supposed to be at. And my job was literally just the thing that positioned us here. And it positioned us here in a lot of ways because, to be honest, we did not want to move to San Antonio. We wanted to move to Houston. That's where we wanted to be. And we wanted to move to Houston for so many different reasons, because we know that a lot of the families are out in Houston. There's a lot of other content creators that we technically watch on a day-to-day basis, just like y'all do, that live out in Houston. So that is why we wanted to be in Houston. But the good part is Houston is about what, like almost a 3-hour drive from where we are.
It's not far at all. So it's right there.
So it was like, in the end, yeah, we may have not been put into Houston. We may have been put here in San Antonio. But we know we're not far. Literally, Houston is like a Miami drive for us. If you were in Orlando.
Yeah, if we were still in Orlando, Miami to Orlando is like 3 hours. So that's really where Houston is for us. But yeah, man, like everything about coming here, as I said to them in the last video, like Texas owes us nothing. It's been friendly to us all the way around. Really, we could live anywhere here, and I'll be satisfied. I'm cool. Like
Kind of.
everything has a not even like everything.
Because you wouldn't do Dallas because of the weather.
Yeah, but it wasn't a like, man, I can't live here. No, it was just if I got options, Texas is too damn big to limit myself to one option.
That's true too.
So I wanted to see the rest and see what I thought of everything else. And yes, everywhere here has its own vibe. Everywhere here has its different vibe. But I really could chill anywhere, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
But we still got to go to Houston.
Still got to go to Houston.
And then technically, I guess we can even, if you wanted to, we can go to Austin and just see it. But outside of like the major cities, obviously is Dallas and Houston. Everybody knows that those are the main two, because those are the biggest cities that Texas has to offer. San Antonio is more of like the smaller city kind of vibes. But ironically enough, what a lot of people don't know is that San Antonio is actually growing. It's growing a lot.
Dude, look, before we came here, because we were obviously we were in Dallas, from February to like middle of May. From us being here in February to us getting here in, late May, early June, I don't know, the construction people out here, they don't sleep. They don't eat. Like,
they don't play.
Highways, street lights, buildings.
Streetlights is a tricky one, because there ain't a lot of those.
Yeah, there ain't a lot of those. Texas, y'all don't really do streetlights, and I don't know what's up with that. Because for y'all to have this many back roads and not streetlights, that's kind of dangerous.
No, San Antonio do streetlights, because I feel like
in general,
Dallas had streetlights.
No, it didn't. It barely did. It only had it in, like select areas, but for the most part, nah. Like you go in some of these residential neighborhoods, whether it was a nice neighborhood or not, and it's pitch black. Do you remember the first, it might not have been my first night doing Uber Eats, but there was a night we delivered to this big old house. It was in Plano, and I came back to that area at some point when we wanted to.
Oh, you right. Yeah, there wasn't.
And that house was nice, and you never would have known the house was like, first of all, that house was like a castle. Like, it was built, it looked kind of medieval. Like, it was, the neighborhood, the layout, it was it was nice. I was glad that we came back.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like driving around Dallas, bro, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like I like to drive. Like when I say driving around Dallas, I'm talking about like the Plano area. Like there's a bunch of other areas. I know a lot of y'all might be looking kind of So I know some of y'all probably like, I don't even know any of that stuff. It's okay, buddy. Look it up. But I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to the views, San Antonio has Dallas beat. I'm not gonna lie. And because there's so many people that feel like, oh, everybody cares about the nightlife. Listen, I'm a parent and I'm a wife. I don't really care a lot about the nightlife. As long as you got good food there or anything like that.
We food people.
Like,
gotta eat.
That's it. Like, that's all I really care about.
We don't like going outside.
But when we got a chance to really like drive through San Antonio gives you a lot of that hill country. It gives you a lot of that hill country mountain type of vibes. Now the thing is, there's a lot of like San Antonio natives where they're like, we don't even have hills. No, y'all do have hills. Y'all do have hills. When it comes to the city though, when you're downtown, no, there are no hills. But there's literally hills. We came from Claremont where there was only a little small amount of hills. There's hills here. Oh, Claremont don't have nothing on the hills here in San Antonio at all. Like I told him, because I've been to Vegas and I've been to Cali. I said literally San Antonio is like really, it's like Cali and Nevada mixed together. Like, and I know it's gonna be funny because if you actually look at the map, we are actually not too far from them. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we're about an hour-ish or 2-hour drive from Arizona or something like that. And obviously, as you know, when you get to Arizona, Nevada not that far from it. But literally, like, now the heat, when we experienced the heat though, I'm not gonna lie, like, was it bad? Yes. But did it freak me out? No, because I came from Florida. Though, see, the thing is that the heat here is dry. The heat in Florida isn't. You are competing against humidity versus non-humidity. But technically San Antonio definitely feel like a desert. Period. When it's hot, it feel like a desert. Period. But I'm not. But either way, just getting to Texas. Period was definitely something that was very unique because of the event that led up to us leaving. It was like I interviewed in December, got the job for AT&T in December, but in that same breath, little and ironically enough, December 13th of this month would be the year, like the day that I literally got hired at AT&T. Just didn't start until pretty much the following year, pretty much this year in February. But just those events, everything that happened in December, it may have felt like why in the world did it happen to a certain extent, or did it have to happen that way? But in reality, it had a purpose behind it, and it got us to where God wanted us, not where we wanted us, but where God wanted us. Either way, technically, realistically, if we really were honest, we were supposed to leave Florida a long time ago. We just didn't do it. And unfortunately, with what happened, it had to happen that way. Otherwise, we still probably wouldn't have left. Even if I would have gotten that job with AT&T, I would have said, just send me back to Florida. So,
Yeah, because I mean, it wasn't like opportunities didn't throw themselves around. We was trying to hold on to Florida, like we was trying to hold on, man. And even if we had to like leave that particular part where we were living,
we still would have did it. We were still gonna do it. We was gonna
were
stay in
willing
Florida and go to Fort.
go
We was gonna go to Fort
somewhere
Lauderdale. We were gonna go to
else in Florida.
Miami. Like
we were trying
we
to
would have went
stay
anywhere else.
We were trying to stay in the barrier or like the state lines of Florida. Like we was trying to remain there, but it just didn't work out that way. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and I mean, I'd be lying if I said we figured out what that reason is.
We haven't.
We have not, but I'll tell you one thing. Being on your own is something I genuinely recommend to everybody, because if you are a believer, being on your own is something you gotta experience. And I don't mean just moving out and living by yourself. I mean like separating yourself from family, separating yourself from friends. Like you gotta go somewhere else, because it's in that, secluded time, where you're just alone, and it's you, yourself, and your walls. It's a different kind of experience, you know what I mean? Like moving out from your parents' crib and living somewhere 40 minutes away, hour away even, that's different. But I'm talking about like you get
Packing
away
up and
from
you
everyone.
actually leave. Like
Yeah,
you leave,
especially
leave.
doing it in a way where everyone thinks you're crazy. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Why would you take that kind of a risk? Why would you jump over the wall? Like you think grass is greener on that side, something they don't really understand what's going through your mind, but you gotta do it, because it changed us for the better. We in just a short time frame, the beginning of the year to how we are now, it's different, man. Like we've evolved into some different people, and it hasn't even been a full year yet. So just imagine what we gonna look like next year. You know what I'm saying? But every day we're getting further in our relationship with God, and not saying that we weren't God-fearing people before, but
It was just different.
it was different. Like it's not it out here. We've had no choice. As I told y'all in that last video, we ain't had no choice but to depend on him. I can't call my peeps back home. You see, Florida got 2 hurricanes and all that. You know what I'm saying? We can't call and ask for nothing. We can't even call and ask for compensation. Everybody is constantly on the move. So we've had no choice but to just sit here. And when we can't get to each other, we just go. We pray in our separate times. So you're like you have to experience it one way or another, and if you don't, God is gonna put you in a predicament where you have no choice but to just be alone and soak in Him, and read your Bible. That's the other thing, we've been doing that a lot more. Back like we've both read the Bible, like Christian. It's not that we're new Christians. It's just we weren't. It was different. The walk was different. Now
The walk
it's
was
a little
different.
bit
I do
more
feel
in.
like at some point in time you just do it because you were told to.
Yeah, and it
You
feels like
didn't do it.
repetition.
You
It's
didn't do it because you needed
you
it.
do it because it's tradition.
You do it because it's like, oh, I'm a Christian, so I gotta read Genesis all the way to Revelation and da 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 da. Like, but no, like this time it's like I don't know, and then just looking at the state of the world and where the world is, and actually reading, going through the Bible, you are literally, you are actually seeing that everything that happened back then is literally happening now. It's literally happening now, and some of those things, and not everything has happened already for us during our time. But when you read it, though, actually strategically reading it, you will actually see that a lot of the stuff we literally just went through it. We just witnessed it, or we're witnessing it right now, like in this point in time. So, and it's not, and either way, like outside of the whatever's happening in the world, but it's just even just things like behind the scenes, like behind the cameras and behind whatever else, we are like, as we're reading it, it's like, oh my goodness, like that's just really what I went through. Like, even when it came to me, even when it came to my job, even when it came to me being at AT&T, we sat there, we started reading Psalm, and as we read in the first however many chapters of Psalm, it's like, oh, yep, I'm experiencing that right now in this place. And unfortunately, hate to say it, but unfortunately, the experience didn't shift that way until I got here to San Antonio. So at some point, on November 19th, it became clear that the journey for me being at AT&T was done. It was over. It was over. It just became even more clear. So at first, it's always natural to say, okay, God, what's next? But right now, we have been like, whatever happens, happens. Like, that's really just what it's been like. That doesn't mean we stop hustling or whatever the case may be. Obviously not that. But it's also allowing God to really lead that path for you, and actually seeking his wisdom to continue to go throughout that entire process. And one of those things is picking up the camera again, and doing this now. Because I know you guys have been seeing Jordan on shorts and stuff like that, but we really haven't really done any more long form content or anything like that. So like the previous video said, like, yeah, you're gonna see videos of us sitting down like this. I'm not gonna lie, I may end up doing a video with Melody and Judah in it, like, we don't know. But either way, whatever it is that pops into our mind when we pick up this camera is what it is. Y'all might see us go to a restaurant, y'all, and y'all gonna be with us. Like, you don't know. So at this point, we're kind of like, we're just gonna go wherever it is that we need to go with it. Maybe in that restaurant, we may have something to say to y'all, we may have a message or something like that. But the purpose is not really to sit just behind the camera and just preach all the time or anything like that. But it's really just do whatever it is that we want to do. Like, that's really just what it is. And that was Jordan's vision for starting YouTube to begin with. It was, I just want to pick up the camera one day and just do whatever it is that I want to actually do. Like, not feel like, oh, I have to strategically plan it out. It's just do whatever. So that's really what it is that we're going to do. So you guys stick with us through the journey. Stick with us through this time. We're going to be coming back out a lot more consistently, popping back up a little bit more consistently than before. May not be every day, maybe every other day. We don't know yet. Like, it's just whatever it is. So you guys are going to see all different types of pieces, whether it's the shorts, long form, whatever it is.
There's a difference between religion and relation. Religion and relation. Sorry, I ruined it. I lost like 1,000 aura points right there, right? Because I had to put myself. But no, there's a difference between religion and relation, and being out here for sure. Being, first of all, in a God-fearing, Texas is a God-fearing state as a whole, but I'm telling you, like San Antonio, it's nothing but Jesus everywhere, and I mean, we're here for it. We love it. But like, in general, like, being on your own, the answers start to come a lot faster and things start to make more sense, bro. And I know, because I had a discussion like this with a friend of mine, and he was like, yeah, once you move out, like, it makes sense. But I'm like, no, it's not that. It's like, I've had no choice, bro. Like, it's to a point where if I was still back home, to others, I would look crazy. I would look psycho because that's how we've been moving. We've been moving all of our life decisions. Nothing we've done to this point has made sense. Everything we've done has been random, but they work together, yo. Like they every decision we make, it's like it fits in a piece. That, you know what I'm saying? That if we were trying to strategically do things, it would have never came out this way. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference when you have a relationship with him and you're reading his word and you're actually not just opening the Bible to read it like it's a
Like a
Dr.
book.
Seuss book. You're actually like, yo, God, help me understand, or give me the words to read, or give me the message that I need to understand. Once you do that and then you open your Bible, the Bible will literally answer your question majority of the time. And I've come to realize, like, I've been telling people, yo, like, stop looking at YouTube videos and all these prophets on YouTube for messages if you won't even open your Bible, you know what I'm saying, and read, like, at least read Matthew. I've been challenging all my friends to read Matthew and read it in the NLT. There are so many different translations of the
And
Bible
variations.
that make it easy, because everyone's first thing is, when I read it, it don't really make sense. It don't click.
Because the main thing that we all hear is King James, King James, King James,
and
King James.
I understand that King James and thou shalt not if doeth thine not, or whatever. I get it, I understand, but it's too many translations for y'all to really have that excuse nowadays. And everybody walks around with their cell phone. I understand that everybody's prideful and everybody wants to walk around with the book, the Bible, but what is the point of having a Bible that's catching dust? I would rather you sit here and you scroll on social media, but you won't scroll on the Bible app. Why? Because it's not the physical thing? No. Listen, he can speak through this too. He can speak through this too. Stop just scrolling through social media. Get the word. Understand the word. Man, like, bro, being out here I'm telling you, like, separating from, I'm glad we've done this, and I would never trade this experience. Don't get it twisted, though. This hasn't just been all cookies and cream. It's been very challenging. It's the most challenging thing we've ever done in our entire life. And I would do it all over again. If I had to, I wouldn't skip a single step. I would let everything play out the same way it has. I'm telling y'all, man. But right now, things aren't making sense, but they're making sense. What's making sense is that it's not supposed to make sense.
Yep.
Until it does.
Yeah.
And until it does, we're just gonna, we're gonna keep doing whatever. And that's, but the same way we're moving in life is the same way we want to move with this YouTube channel. Not really having anything strategically planned out and mapped out, because a lot of the times, and I'm mad, there were times when we both came up with something that was like, yo, this is a good video idea. But it was just us talking. So it's like, man, should we really do that? Nobody want to hear us babble. I don't care anymore. That's really what we're going to just start doing, because, like, life real out here,
because at first I was like, I don't think, like, I don't care. And then it was like that other piece where it was like for Jordan, he was like, maybe not. Like, maybe not, because, nobody knows us yet. People don't know us yet. Okay, well, guess what? Now y'all getting ready to actually get to, like, now you're going to know us, because in reality, like, to be honest with you, like, at first we were trying to be so strategic, trying to pick out like videos to do pranks and stuff like that. But in reality, though, we don't really need to do that. Like, we actually don't. Like,
the season of that stuff is over.
Like, we don't really need to do that. But best believe, if we crack a joke, we gonna crack a joke, and you gonna laugh. But there was nothing there was nothing about what we were doing on YouTube that required us to actually sit here and plan out. Like, it was nothing for us to really do that. So y'all gonna probably see us eating food, talking to the camera. Y'all gonna see us probably driving around, park somewhere, eat some food, talk to the camera. It doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing gonna be structured. Nothing is going to be structured. Like, it's just gonna be what it is. Yeah,
man, but that's really all we got, man. Just getting further in your relationship with God, finding a season of separation. Don't just take holiday trips, or just take trips with your homegirls and your homies, you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing Passport Bros, and I'm seeing all these trips and all that, whatever. Like, right now, bro, it's time. Like, you ain't got no choice but to, fix your relationship with God, man. Yeah, it's the best.
And
It's the best thing ever.
I know right now, for a lot of you guys are probably watching like a lot of pastors, stuff like that, and you probably have some that's like time is running out. And in reality, yes, time is running out. It's running out in two different ways. The time is running out because he will be back so soon. No one knows when, but it's definitely evident that we're getting closer and closer to it, whether you want to admit it or not. But also, tomorrow is never guaranteed. And ironically enough, when I was doing his hair yesterday, that's exactly what we were talking about. And he was like, in reality, it's so easy to focus on when Jesus is coming back than it is to actually focus on just living your everyday life in a way that you need to live it, because you don't know what's gonna
You
happen.
really
You're
don't.
not gonna know what's gonna happen when you walk outside. You're not gonna know what's gonna happen when you're getting behind that wheel and you're going to grab food, or maybe you're not just gonna go grab food. Maybe you're going to the grocery store. You don't know. You don't know what's getting ready to happen. You don't know what's gonna happen next. And when you're too busy focused on he's coming back. The thing is, you can focus on that all you want to, but what are you going to do for the steps leading up to the point to where you may not even be here tomorrow? You may not even be here the next day. So you need to be living every day in a way that God has written. The Bible is literally basic instructions before leaving earth. That's literally what the Bible is. It's basic instruction. Not only is it giving you, is pretty much God telling you, if you don't follow my instruction, then here's what's gonna happen to you. So even just sitting here and reading through Isaiah and Jeremiah and Psalm and Matthew, Mark, John, and Luke, even just reading through those things, those people, God and Jesus was literally telling you what to do, and they weren't being done. And then the next day it was like, oh shoot.
All in all, as back to my earlier point, when you get a relationship, that stuff is gonna fall into play. So if your relationship is strong, it's gonna be a natural transition. I don't recommend trying to change. I recommend implementing. Yes, reading your Bible and studying your Bible, but I recommend like building that relationship, because asking him to do it the same way you should ask him to help you read the Bible, to say you should ask him to do everything. Because the thing is, you can be as good and strong-willed as you want to, but you will soon realize that your good is not that good enough. You will realize that your best actually it was never that good. It was terrible. And the sooner we realize we can't do anything right, it's him. You know what I'm saying? Things get better. So, but back to what she said that I said. Yeah, it's easier to think about. Oh my gosh, Jesus is coming back. I've been hearing this for so many years, but that's not really what we should be focusing on. In my humble opinion, don't slaughter me for this, but it's just we are so focused on that rather than focusing on what time is it right now? It's December 2nd, 9:53 a.m. in San Antonio. It's so easy to focus on the rapture than focus on making it to December 3rd, or focusing on, or not making it to December 3rd, but focusing on being right before December 3rd. It's 9:53 right now. Everybody worried about the rapture, but nobody's worried about getting right before December 2nd, 10 o'clock. Like, I'm more so focused on that, because for me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, I'm way different and I am progressing. And I would rather, you know what I'm saying, my final breath be taken knowing that I was giving it my all, rather than I felt like I was good enough, so I should be straight, right? I'm cool. No. Every day, you can't be arrogant. Every day I walk through knowing that I have something to work on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm constantly trying to fight myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what you have to do. But I'm tired of all this. These are the last days talk. It is cool, and everyone's trying to do it now. Some people aren't even doing it right. That's the other thing. I've been hearing it for a while now. I grew up in the church, so I can tell you, I know when it's being preached right and when it's not, because a lot of y'all are using it for monetization. It's crazy. How can you use the rapture for monetizing? Anyways, but like, I want y'all to focus on the tomorrow. Focus on a few minutes from now. Focus on an hour, because I do a lot of Uber Eats and DoorDash out here in Texas. First of all, y'all drive weird. And y'all drive like y'all ain't got nothing to lose and nothing to live for. I really for sure gotta pray before I leave that house, because I'm sitting here looking. When I look at them car keys, and before I hit that front door, I view that as the rapture right there. And that's how you should live your life. Stop worrying about, oh, he coming in 2030. You need to be worrying about the next few minutes from now. That's all it is. You'll never be perfect. But with him, he makes everything correct.
Yep.
He fits in all the blanks. You will never be good enough. You know what I'm saying? You'll never be good enough. But yeah, guys, we ain't gonna talk your heads off too much. But it was nice to come in and spread some words of encouragement to y'all. So look, man, if you guys liked what we sat here and blabbled about, hit the like button, subscribe, and let
Any
us know in the comment
insight?
section.
If y'all have any insight, let us know in the comment section. Definitely, definitely something that everybody should be able to communicate about
We want to
too.
build
So,
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you know when we post another video. And yeah, man.
Peace.